We are dogging our way through Chapter 2 of Brotherhood of Darkness, and this is video number 7. Humanist Manifesto 2 proclaimed that secular humanists 1. Reject traditional religious beliefs and seek new human purposes and goals. Humanists proclaim there is no divine purpose or providence for the human species. No deity will save us. We must save ourselves. 2. Reject as both illusory and harmful the promises of immortal salvation or fear of eternal damnation, which are the basis of both Judaic and Christian beliefs. 3. Believe that moral values derive from human experience. Ethics is autonomous and situational, and that we should strive for the good life, here and now. Thus, humanists believe that individuals determine what is right and wrong. 4. Believe that reason and intelligence will guide mankind to a better world. 5. Stress individual freedom without moral restraints. 6. Recognize the right to birth control, abortion, and divorce, and that the many varieties of sexual exploration should not in themselves be considered evil. Thus, humanists condone homosexuality and other forms of sexual perversion. 7. Support concepts of individual freedom such as an individual's right to die with dignity, euthanasia, and the right to suicide. 8. Advocate democracy and participatory democracy rather than a republican form of government. 9. Advocate the separation of church and state and the separation of ideology and state. This program was designed to remove both God and prayer from public schools. 10. Advocate alternative economic systems and the need to democratize the economy. Humanists promote socialism. 11. Advocate the elimination of all discrimination based upon race, religion, sex, age, or national origin, and the right to universal education. They also oppose sexism or sexual chauvinism. This requires governmental control over every aspect of our lives. 12. Support the ending of nationhood and national sovereignty and advocate a world community. 13. State that this world community must renounce the resort to violence and force as a method of solving international disputes. They want a world government which includes an international court. 14. Advocated that the world community engage in cooperative planning concerning the use of rapidly depleting resources. Population growth must be checked. This is the basis of modern-day environmentalism and population control. 15. Propose foreign aid and birth control for developing nations. 16. Since technology is a vital key to human progress, they oppose any moves to censor basic scientific research on moral, political, or social grounds. 17. Call for international cooperation in culture, science, the arts, and technology across ideological borders. We must learn to live openly together or we shall perish together. Most of the concepts that are advocated in the Humanist Manifestos 1 and 2 have been implemented, and their plan to introduce socialism, create a world government, and undermine the Judeo-Christian beliefs of our nation are well on the way to contemplation. Is secular humanism the force behind unfolding world events? The tax-exempt foundations. But I felt that the work left several important unanswered questions, of which the gravest was, to what extent, if any, are the funds of the large foundations aiding and abetting Marxist tendencies in the United States and weakening the love which every American should have for his way of life. Congressman B. Carroll Reese. Although there is a great deal of evidence to suggest that secular humanism is responsible for what is happening, their programs could never have been implemented without the support of the tax-exempt foundations. Some people believe that the great foundations are responsible for our current problems. Following the communist takeover of China in 1950, The Senate appointed a special committee to investigate why our State Department placed an arms embargo on the national Chinese and brought Chairman Mao to power. I summarized the Senate committee's findings in Chapter 1. The committee also discovered that both the Rockefeller Foundation and the Ford Foundation funded communist propaganda outlets in the years preceding the fall of China. The 83rd Congress commissioned Congressman B. Carroll Reese to investigate the tax-exempt foundations to determine why they had financed communist organizations. The Reese Committee discovered 1. In 1915, the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace launched a propaganda program to force the United States into World War I. 2. Many of our large foundations were actively promoting communism and socialism. 3. The Rockefeller Foundation financed Dr. Alfred Kinsey's badly flawed study of human sexuality and his effort to undermine the moral standards of our nation. 4. The Rockefeller Foundation, the Carnegie Educational Foundation, and the Ford Foundation had used their grant-making power to take over American education and force our colleges and universities to abandon their religious beliefs and moral standards. 5. The foundations influenced State Department policy and were largely responsible for bringing communism to China. 6. The foundations were working to undermine our constitutional form of government. And we will pick up in the next video. Stay with us. We're in Chapter 2 of the Brotherhood of Darkness.